Hey everybody, yesterday I was going to do an update on Elite Dangerous. I went to the website. I saw that this game was 45% off only on the Frontier store. I'm guessing it's because they have a relatively new DLC out for spooky Halloween stuff. I'm guessing it's on sale through Halloween. I could not see on the store how long it's on sale, so I hope it is still on sale. My point is, I think that you should get this game, and here is why. I was really skeptical about this game. All of the reviews, my most trusted review site, PC Gamer, said that it was great, but it did not have enough. It wasn't hard enough. It was not challenging. I can tell you that, well, while that originally deterred me, I'm not sure if they had this challenge mode in the game originally. I did not look that up. However, I have tried the challenge mode, and it is very hard. It's similar to Transport Fever, where you have to be careful how you start out, otherwise you will go bankrupt really quickly. However, this game is still a lot easier than any of those. Even on the hardest levels, once you get a park started to, built up and stuff like that, it is hard for things to catapult and spiral out of control where you go totally bankrupt and cannot recover. You might have to do a little bit of work, but you can recover. Anyway, the challenge mode is pretty cool. The sandbox mode is pretty self-explanatory. Originally, when I first started this game, these are open, barren lands. They're basically like you see here. It's like a lot of times they don't even have a feature in the middle of them. It's just open space. And I hated it because I am not that creative. I am not an artist. If you give me part of something to work with, then I can go from there. So that is why I actually really like this career mode. Not for doing career, even though I am working on the career mode. What is great about this career mode is, for example, I like this one, and we can do this as start, not as a new scenario. We want to start this as a challenge mode, and then you can bump up the difficulty to the hardest level and do this as a challenge mode, and it gives you the original park to build around and create your own park in. And for people like me, this is exactly what I need. It has some setting. It has a theme picked out. It has some basic scenery around here. You can obviously sculpt your own terrain, but it gives you something. It gives you some kind of theme to work with. And I can do this. I can go from here. So I redid this entire first look and preview because originally it was like, yeah, it's on sale, go buy it, but I don't really like it. It's not for me. I felt too much like I was doing detail work. There's a lot of little detail that you need to do, pasting the little barrels. You can paste those handrails. You have to place each individually one of these, the scenery, that some of these buildings, they are partially made, but if you go to the blueprints, you can see a whole bunch of these shapes together. But if you want to build anything by yourself, you have to build a custom design and put everything together like a puzzle, and that is not for me. But when it's already started, I feel like I can continue this work, and it was very satisfying to continue my work. At that point, I got a little bit into my creative mode, and the challenge of the game did not matter. It didn't matter that it wasn't as hard as Oxygen Not Included or Factorio or, some of the other really hard games that I like to play, because I got to make my people happy. I wanted to make people very happy. I wanted to make my employees happy. I wanted my guests to be happy. I think that this game is a definite pickup for anybody who likes creative things or building things. Like I said, originally, if you were deterred because you were scared that it was too hard, I actually found that, well, one, you can do those hard modes and crank up the difficulty level. And for two, I found that the hardness didn't even matter because I found that I didn't really care about that as much because, it does give you on the harder levels, you can research. There is all this stuff to research, and then you click on this, and then eventually you research, and then you reveal at the end of this 60-day period, whenever it gets done, then you'll see what you build. Right now you start out with a few coasters that you can build. They have, the basic plot, but, obviously the game is based on building your own custom build. It does have a decent amount of, these types of deals that you can plop down and, just give your guests a little bit more variety to go to. And, some little kiddie rides as well. But I found this game immensely satisfying. just laying out the park, getting guests to, you know, like, hey, come off this ride. Are you hungry? Maybe you should buy some food. Maybe you should, you know, go on this other ride over here that's right here. So it's a lot of fun to lay out a theme park and then get on and ride out your rides. It's immensely satisfying to, I spent hours just tweaking roller coasters and building roller coasters and trying to get them perfect. As you see here, this test run was from my very first original roller coaster that it's my first type of this roller coaster, of this type of roller coaster that I've built. And, you know, there's actually an art to building a roller coaster. You can have moments of really, you know, high speed and fear, but then you need a little bit, you know, basically they need to settle their stomach and to get not afraid, because if you have the moments of intensity after intensity after intense, you know, all right next to each other, as you saw, it causes them to hate the ride. So it's actually a huge art. If you look at some of the default roller coasters, like this one, for example, this is one back to the pirate theme park. It has a nice, you know, so you pick up some speed and then you kind of go up a little bit, so that decreases your speed, and you have to put things like that and like brakes in there if you don't have an uphill thing. And then, you know, it goes some down and up and some nice sweeping turns all the way around. So this default roller coaster, it's not that great at fear, but it's obviously not very nauseous at all, but it still is exciting. And, you know, I think that part of that is because it's a little bit shorter, and part of the other efficiency part of it is I love making the roller coaster so that it is always basically, I would probably have done this to put a third car in there so that way I could always be loading someone up, and then you can build up a bank back here to kind of stop the extra train. So that way, you always have someone loading. If you look on this one, basically, this will take off before this other one has a chance to load. Unless I missed my guess there. Here we go. This one's actually a little bit slower for some reason, but yeah, I don't know why that one took so long. But anyway, so maybe it doesn't need 3. 2 is just fine for this one. But I love studying and analyzing that stuff. I love analyzing the traffic flow throughout my park. And it's a lot of fun to just take one of these parks and build from scratch. And I have not even mentioned the Steam Workshop yet. If you are like me, and you want to get in here and start customizing things, you know, I cannot build a nice little rock formation, but you can go on the Steam store and find other people like, so this is obviously one that came with the default game, but you can get on the Steam store and see all these other designs that other people have built, and it's amazing what the things that these other people put together and build, and it just expands the game even more. So anyway, I would highly recommend that you pick up this game, especially if you can still find it on sale. It is well worth the money. If you like building games, this reminds me so much of something like Factorio, where no matter how many times I beat the game of Factorio, you know, launch a rocket off into space, get off the planet, yes, I beat the game. Do you want to continue playing? Yes, I want to continue. I want to build my base as big as possible. And, you know, it's similar here. I love building a new theme park and drawing guests and watching it build and grow. I love building new rides and building it bigger and better and as big as possible, and the graphics in this game are really gorgeous. The music is amazing. You can customize music to each ride. You can set up explosions and side effects and, you know, all kinds of really cool stuff on your rides, and I think that this game is just awesome. I was very, very pleasantly surprised, in case you could not tell, about Planet Coaster. So I highly recommend that you guys pick this one up. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe and give me a thumb up if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out all my other videos as well. I mainly do Farming Simulator if you're just watching me for the first time, but yeah, we'll throw in other games like this every now and then that I am very happy about. So I find myself just you know what, this is really similar to Oxygen Not Included in that I find myself I want to go back and keep playing this game. I don't want to leave. It's just probably more so than Oxygen Not Included, because that's more like a puzzle. I love that for a certain time period, but this game is just relaxing. I can go down and sit and just build a roller coaster, and it's really, really relaxing. So I just absolutely love this game. I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as me. And like I said, if you haven't had a chance to check it out and you love building games, but, you know, were previously deterred about it not being challenging enough, don't worry about that in the slightest. I found that it did not matter to me. And if you do want the challenge, like I said, there are plenty of challenges to be had. So thanks again for watching, everybody. I will say goodbye and shut up now. Go out and buy it. It's a lot of fun. Bye-bye.